Tools of Fortune. I am your reader, Bill. We're going to start with a reading from The Prophet, page 69, derived from the number 1554 that I spit out for this week's energy devotional reading, whatever you want to call it. Page 69. Who among you does not feel that his power to love is boundless, and yet who does not feel that very love, though boundless, encompassed within the center of his being and not moving from love thought to love thought, nor from the love deeds to other love deeds? And is not time, even as love is, undivided and paceless? But if in your thought you must measure time into seasons, let each season encircle all the other seasons, and let today embrace the past with remembrance of the future with longing. The future with longing, boundless love that we cannot feel, love that is undivided and paceless. It is just there, waiting to be accessed. We will start out with a question from Ayushi. Ayushi left the question in the chat. So let us write down the question. Today's date is 6/7/2026, and so we got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So all day long we are looking at a 5 energy. And Ayushi's question is, okay, from Ayushi, Ayushi. Ayushi is taking an exam. Must be like a civil servant's exam or something like that. Why choosing and loving yourself is, okay, so the question is, why is choosing self and loving self so damn difficult? Difficult. But for others, it comes. I think Ayushi, it is difficult for everybody because I think that people have a tendency to not love themselves, to find all kinds of flaws about themselves. I think it takes time, Ayushi, time to learn to love yourself. So, this is from my experience. Ayushi. When people, and I've talked to other people about this too, when we exit our childhood, adolescent years and enter into adulthood, most people believe that they are ugly. Even popular people, beautiful people, believe they are ugly. Vanderbilt, welcome. I will get to your question next. And People believe this about themselves. You go, as a child and a teenager, you go through this meat grinder. Everything is external, and you're looking at the external thing. Your peers and all the people you are thrust together with in school and everything see all of your flaws. When you watch TV and you watch ads, they all point out your flaws. You need this beauty product or that product in order to feel beautiful, to feel that if you use this thing, you will be yourself. If you eat this cereal, you will be more beautiful. If you do this, if only this and this, everything is sold in order to sell you something in this consumeristic economy we have. It's all about pointing out your inadequacies, pointing out where you fall short. And then this system has a solution. It is selling you the solution to yourself. But the problem is that none of those things help you to choose yourself. None of those things assist in you being able to love yourself. And all of those things, all they do is tear down your self-image, because there are these beautiful people, the people in the theater, in the movie stars, in the commercials, on the TV. They present a facade, an illusion of beauty, an illusion that they have it all together. It's all an illusion. But they themselves are just following a script that somebody else wrote. Welcome. You have internet and you're on your and you're in your adventure. Good. And when you are young, you look at other people and you look at other people as if they have it all together, but they don't. They're just as lost as you are. Why is choosing self and loving self so damn difficult? You go through that meat grinder of childhood. All of your flaws are pointed out. The size of your nose, the size of your legs, or you're too feminine, or you're not feminine enough, or as a man, you're masculine, but you're not masculine enough, and you're within your peers, and there's the machismo, and you have to prove yourself. Boys and girls have to prove themselves. They have to prove their masculinity. They have to prove their femininity. Always trying to be something that you're not, this ideal form of self. And as a consequence of that, you may go to bed every night hating yourself because you do not measure up. There are the fairy tales, the mythologies, all of these things you're comparing yourself to. And you're not measuring up. What happens someplace between 40 years of age and 60, that people wake up and realize that all of those things that they were taught were lies. They were lies. It was how you were raised, Maria, yes. All those things that you were taught were lies. You can look at yourself in the mirror and see a beautiful creature. But what I have noticed is that almost everybody, by the time they hit 60 years of age, look in the mirror and see themselves as the most beautiful person they've ever seen. Just like their parents. When that person came into the world, you, for the most people, not everybody, but most people, Their mothers and their fathers, they hold you as a little infant in that you've just come into the world and you are the most beautiful thing ever. You are a product of their love. Sometime in your life, people will have an awakening and they will realize that they are the most beautiful thing that God has ever created. And it doesn't matter what your body shape is. It doesn't matter what the state of your life is. It doesn't matter what your addictions are or whatever. Eventually, you come to a place where you realize that you are beautiful and you are worthy of love. You are worthy of being loved. But it takes time. But it's not to say that you can't start younger. Maybe you start by looking into the mirror. You look into the mirror and say, I love you, Ayushi. I love you, Bill. I love you. Though you may look at yourself in the mirror, you may stare into your own eyes and you do not see somebody worthy of love. But you need to start doing that. Looking at yourself and trying to imagine what it was that your parents saw when they first saw you when you popped out of the womb. Try to imagine that feeling and when you look at yourself in the mirror. Because that's how God sees you. God sees you as the most beautiful thing ever brought into existence. Not just you, but every single creature that has come into this world is, or any world, is the most beautiful creature that ever came into existence. Does that help? But let's just look at this question and look at, well, let's just look at the cards and see what the cards say. I know I have some other questions here. My automated, I have my automated Nightbot here, who I signed up on. I've signed it up on both this channel and the other channel. But we're going to try to answer this. Just see if the tarot can illuminate your question. If the tarot has some questions, I would be blowing on my harmonica. So I got this new harmonica. It is a frequency 432, which is a more of a healing frequency. Unfortunately, I won't be able to blow this harmonica for another week or so because I had a tooth removed right up over here. And according to the instructions, when you have tooth extractions, you can't blow on horns or suck on straws for at least 2 weeks after the procedure. And I'm 7 days out from that procedure. I'm still eating soft foods and not drinking hot liquids. And no, I don't really use straws anyway, but it pains me that the day that I had my tooth out was also the same day that my new harmonica came. And so yeah, especially tuned to frequency 432. But we're gonna start using that in a couple weeks. I will probably, yeah, I may. It said what, 2 weeks, so I'm just gonna wait the 2 weeks time period. They generally, when I looked up, if you are a horn player, you play the trumpet, you play the trombone, you play the flute, you have a tooth extraction, you should take at least 2 weeks off of playing your instrument. But anyways, we're going to do this question here for Ayushi. I'm going to just see what the tarot has to say. Is why is choosing self and loving self so damn difficult? Why? And then we'll go on to Vanderbilt. So, Mother Mary, why is choosing self and loving self so difficult? Why? Show us why. Ayushi wants to know why it is so difficult. Why is choosing self and loving self so damn difficult? Okay, we got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cut the deck, and we have why. Maybe we can get some insights on why. Family dysfunction. Why? Being on guard, but being guarded, pessimistic, a dysfunctional family, engaging in unhealthy activities. But then we have this Page of Swords here. New ideas, fresh ideas. I don't know that this really ascertains the why of it, but I think more so that the why of why do you choose, why is choosing yourself difficult? Why is loving yourself difficult? Because you feel that you are in a dysfunction, that your whole family structure is all dysfunctional. There's a sense that of being guarded and pessimistic in outlook. You're looking at life from, like it's a crappy point of view, and you are constantly engaging in unhealthy, unsupportive, and emotionally devoid ways of caring for yourself. Emotionally devoid ways of caring for yourself. I'll be with you shortly, Justin. And so then if we look at the energy here for the up and down, but then we have this, what the solution to you is to, you got to think about things differently. So why is choosing? Well, in order to choose, you have to look at your life differently. You have to have a different point of view. You have to be like this Page of Swords. Different mind, different ideas. Okay? So that's the solution here. But let's just take a look. So we have 11. Yeah. So we're looking at having in your up energy of being a 2, and a 2 which is being of a having a more balanced sort of a yin and yang, and your down energy being of 10 and 12, right? Is that 12? No, it's 13, 23, 32. So 5. So it's your down energy of being a 5, it being instead of being able to rise to the challenge, you're not able to rise to the challenge. There's a challenge that is before you to think new thoughts, but you're not able to do that. You're kind of stuck. You're kind of stuck in a rut of not being able to be inspired by new ideas and new ways of being. Welcome, Avery. Welcome. Mary is praying for you today, Miss Avery. Okay. I hope that helps. I hope that helps. But mostly it's a matter of you gotta just start trying to see what it is that your parents saw when you first came into this world as an infant. Most parents, the majority of parents, maybe it's just a fleeting thing for a brief moment, will see their children as being the most beautiful thing they'd ever seen. Somehow, Ayushi, try and imagine what that will feel like. Now, when you have children, if you ever have children, you will feel that about your own child. That own child that you bring into the world. All right, Avery. I do have a question. I am going to go move on to Vanderbilt's question. You think because I'm using tools that I obviously do not believe that there is a God. So Avery, you did know that the prophets used tools. You know that the prophets used tools, don't you know that? That many of the prophets, ancient in your Old Testament prophets, that many of the prophets use tools of divination. And then when you read the Bible, when you read that Bible, Avery, you are using a tool of divination. You are opening up your scriptures. You have to use, this is a tool of divination, your Bible. This is a Sunday Missal. And when you open your scriptures prayerfully and you try to understand what these words are, you connect with your spirit. These words act as a gateway to gnosis, to knowledge. You were raised in a fallen world. Free us from sin, your servant and your son, through the obedience of Jesus. Jesus forgives us because we are able to forgive. If forgiveness comes to those who forgive. Your servant and son, you raised a fallen world, free us from sin, and sin being the separation from God. And Jesus showed us Jesus showed us the way, Avery, because the kingdom of God is within us. The fulfillment of the sacrificial system, which God does not demand sacrifice, God demands mercy and love. Therefore, for Paul's point of view, the sacrifice Paul's point of view is one that perpetuates the sacrificial viewpoint. Jesus' point of view does not perpetuate the sacrificial system. God demands mercy and love. God does not want your sacrifice. God does not find your burnt offerings, your sacrifices pleasing. What Jesus brought us was that the kingdom of God is within and that we can live through kingdom ways. We can live in the kingdom of God, we can be our own, because the cave, within the cave, Mary Magdalene says that everything exists within. Within the cave, Avery, within the cave, Avery, is the small, still voice of God. Jesus freed us from the sacrificial system that we may become one with God, because the kingdom of God is within. That is my understanding. That may not be your understanding, Avery, but that is my understanding of scriptures. That is my understanding of that. It may not be the right understanding, but that is where God has led me, Avery. That is where God has led me. But if God has led me this far and he's led me wrong, well, then God will cast me into a fiery lake of hell where I will burn forever and ever and ever. Because that's what you believe. That's what you believe, Avery. But anyway, I need to go on to Vanderbilt. Are you still here, Vanderbilt? I have Vanderbilt has a question. Vanderbilt? Vanderbilt. And we are looking at, it is 7, 6, no. It is not 7, it's 6, 7, 2026. We are looking at A5 energy. Merlin's emotions toward what does Merlin feel for me today? That is Vanderbilt. We also have a Justin. Justin wants to know a general reading. Justin, we have a general reading for the now. 6, 7, 2026. What is the energy of today? Okay, Avery, you're welcome to hang out here. My only thought is that if you just don't harass the people that are here, Avery. We're not, that's all I ask. You can stay as long as you want, but don't harass the people here. That's all. They have their own ideas and they have their own path that they are following. And many people that are here, Avery, have a totally different religion than you, because they grew up in a totally different culture than you did. So you're welcome to stay, Avery, but like I say, just don't harass the people that are here. Okay. So we're going to start by clearing the air. I'm just going to do the old way. I'm going to ding my my bell and hope that we do not get a copyright claim on that. I'm going to ring it here. Ring a ding it. Mother Mary, Queen of Heaven, Vanderbilt has a question. She wants to know about Merlin, where Merlin is at today in relationship to Vanderbilt. What is Merlin's thoughts, dreams, prayers. Where is Merlin today in relationship to Vanderbilt? So if you're still here, Vanderbilt, I will we will see, and we'll get some one more shuffling here. All right. Well, I'm going to choose the cards for you. I'm going to count back from 5. 5. Oh, looks like 3 cards popped out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cut the deck and move here. This is 1 card and 1 off the bottom. All right. Let us see. First off, Merlin is coming from a place of being emotionally immature. Immaturity. He's not, his cup of emotions is immature. It is falling out onto the ground. Kind of, his heart is not in the right place. Maybe just put it to you that way. He's he's kind of regressed into a more of a childlike sort of way, and where he is just being focused on himself, maybe in a sense of that, of having a victim complex. Being self-centered, and then when things do go wrong, he is blaming others for his problems. And we go to this 6 of Pentacles in the reverse form. Again, selfish. He's out of balance. When he engages in a relationship with another person, it has strings attached. It's not a love without boundaries. It's love with boundaries. So it's strings attached. It's like it's conditional love. He's selfish, self-centered, and loves with conditions attached. He does not come from a place of justice. What does he feel towards you? If he loves you, it's because he needs something from you. He wants something from you. He wants something from you. So that's kind of what sits at the heart of it, Vanderbilt. Immaturity, victim blaming, shaming, feeling persecuted, being unable to accept responsibility for one's actions. Everything is for the self, nothing is for you. He's only concentrating on his self. Like he has a new thing that he's working on, this shiny new object. He's looking at it, entirely self-absorbed. If he does get anything out of it, he's not willing to share it with you. This idea that is closely attached to his body, something of the earth, something of the body. Something of the body inspires him, but he is keeping all of this to himself. We have this other card here. He is going through some difficulty. He needs to ask for some help on how to get out. So, in a sense, in this, the Five of Pentacles, there is his poverty, his lack of a feeling of lack. But in this sense, he's coming into a place where he may ask for help. How to cope, how to endure what it is that he is experiencing right now, Vanderbilt. And then we have this other card, the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So we have a lot of Pentacle energy, a lot of body energy. His focus is all on himself, selfishness, focus on the body, on material things. And so being materialistic, taking risks, looking only at the material side. I don't see anything of romance in looking. If he is looking to you, he's looking to see what he can get from you. If you can provide him with something that will help him to feel more financially secure. He feels financially on unsteady, unshaky grounds. And because he has all of this energy here that is in earth energy. He's mired down in earth energy. He's mired down in everything that has to do with the body, with the physical self. Lots of earth energy. And so if we look at what is his earth energy, his up energy being that of A2, his down energy being that of 2, 7, 13, 14, 5. Again, we have another down energy of 5, just like with Ayushi. It's sort of an inability to change. 5 is change, challenge, and freedom. He is not free. He is not able to change, an inability to make any change. But if we just take a look at what the numbers of his earth energy, because there are so many Pentacle cards here, we're looking at 5, 11, 11, that's 22, 23. Again, it's 5. It's 5 energy. There's a lot of 5 energy here. The whole day is with 5. Jay, I will be with you, Leela, after Justin. And so we're looking at what? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 to 23. See, it's just, and then we have this overshadowing this earth energy, EARTH, with a 5. He's mired down in the earth, and he needs to make a change, but he's not able to make a change. And if we just kind of look at these cards here, how does the breakdown here? It is in the form of 2 up in this earth energy, and got 7, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Let's see. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 1 plus 8 is 9. This doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. But if all of this adds up to a 5, then why do I get a 9 here? So I'm not... Oh, I'm looking at it wrong. We're looking at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's a 3. So we got a 3 and a down energy. So the inability to express oneself, but there's a sense of balance. There's some balance in his earth energy, but for the most part, he's not able to express himself, not able to create his creative self. So in his earth energy is not expressing itself. He seeks after balance, but he can't express himself. He's kind of mired in a situation where he cannot change. That's what I got for you today. Does that make any sense? Does that help at all? Vanderbilt? We're going to go on to Justin, and then we have Leela. We have Leela. And Leya and 672026. 5 energy for the day. It's a 5. It's just overshadowing with 5-ness. The 5-ness here. We have Shep. And so with Shep, I'm well. Oh, just like I did have a tooth out a week ago. I'm recovering from a tooth extraction. Other than that, I think I'm pretty well. I've been trying to do more readings all this week, but I just been recovering from that, having something in your body taken out of you. It's hard because I haven't shaved because it's like I haven't really wanted to touch, because it was an upper tooth over there I got pulled out. When I feel like I have less pain when I touch my face, then I'm going to shave, but it's what it is. Shep says, okay, Shep is going through a rough patch, which is difficulties. Yeah, it is, because it's like I've lost 2 molars on that side of my mouth. I got my lowers, but it's like, Yeah, thank you, Justin. But that's just telling you how things are. Other than that, I'm doing great. I've been sleeping a lot. Sleeping a lot more. I've been really tired. Physically tired. That's kind of where I'm at. What do we got? This is a hard time, rough patch, a hard time, to use Shep's words. Rough patch in this relationship. Is it permanent? Yeah. Or temporary? Interesting. I'll have to figure out how to phrase that, but let's just go. What was Leela's question? I didn't write Leela's question down. What does Elwyn feel about Layla? Leia. Okay. All right. All right, Justin. I was just out cutting the grass. When I finish these readings here, I go finish cutting my neighbor's grass. So a general reading for you. Justin, would you like to... Would you like to select a number for me? I'm going to use this oracle for you. I want you to select your own reading here. This, Justin, starts on page 3, and it pretty much ends on page 105. So if you have a number between 3 and 105 that just come and strike out to you, just think about it. A number between 3 and 105. And whatever number just pops into your head. Okay, 29. Okay, page 29. All right. Okay, let's start by clearing the air. Let's use a different flat of it. Mother Mary, Justin wants to know, what does he need to know for the now, today, tomorrow, the day after? What does he need to know? What are your words for him? What truth does he need to know? If we go with a 2, we go with a 9. That you need to balance yourself. Balance yourself so that you can feel more complete within yourself. So we have a sense of balance and completion. 9, completion. But together, 2 and 9 together equals to 11. 11/2. 2 is balance. It's mostly about balance, but it's also about justice. The overall energy of 29 is that of justice, the scales of justice in your life, the balance, doing the right thing. For whatever comes your way, be impelled to act out of your morality, your inner spirit, to do the right thing. If you feel the need to be dishonest, suppress that urge to be dishonest and do the right thing. Tell people the truth. To do the right thing. For the now, we are looking at justice. Acting in a just manner, acting out of mercy, acting in a way that is fair. Fair for all the parties involved. But let's take a look at page 29 and see what Mother Mary has to say through the prophet Khalil Gibran. Look at this. Justin, did you see that this thing had a page number on it and it was right on 29? That's interesting, don't you think? Did the page number just happen to be on page 29? All right. This page is for you, 29. And all the work is empty save when there is love. And when you work with love, you bind yourself to yourself and to one another and to God. And what is it to work with love? It is to weave the cloth with threads drawn from your heart, even as your beloved were to wear that cloth. It is to build a house with affection, even as if your beloved were to dwell in that house. It is to sow seeds with tenderness and reap the harvest with joy, even as if your beloved were to eat the fruit. It is to charge all things you fashion with a breath of your own spirit, and to know all the blessed dead, and to know that all the blessed dead are standing about you and watching. Often I have heard you say, as if speaking in sleep, he who works in marble and finds the shape of his own soul in that stone is nobler than he who plows the soil. The soil of your creation, working marble, shaping your soul. The next 2 days will be about being shaped, being further shaped with the chisel, with the plow, shaped into who you are supposed to be. It is to charge all things you fashion with a breath of your own spirit. You breathe into your own nostrils. You give your body life. Sow the seeds. Sow seeds with tenderness. Be tender. Have joy. Experience joy. Be joyful. Even as if your beloved were to eat the fruit. Be joyful. Be happy. Have affection for yourself and for others. Weave the cloth with threads drawn from your heart. Live out of your heart energy. Live out of your own sense of justice, your own sense of self-worth, your own sense of morality. Work out of your pride. Your, not pride as in, but be proud of your work. Be proud of the job that you do. All work is empty save when there is love. 29 is your birthday. Okay? I hope that does this help act out of justice and act out of love? To be just is to be a loving person, but because sometimes love needs boundaries. Bound by the house, because you build a house with affection. Houses are shapes, they have boundaries. Love within your boundaries. Love within your house. So you can always come back here, Justin, and roll the tape back, and you can come back to this spot, which is probably at 58 minutes into the video. So right now we are at 58. So if you go to 50, 55, go to 55, you will be at the beginning of your reading. But you know, if we go take a look at one more card here, just based on your number, 29, 2, we have another card for you to think about of your own intuitive self, getting in touch with your own inner world. Because 11 boils down to 2, because 1 plus 1 is 2, and we're looking at this sense of the High Priestess and the Justice card. And so within the High Priestess, you're looking at your own inner mystery, the word which is written on your heart. We have the balance between the B and the J, between the dark and the light, surrounded by nature, under the moon, moon being intuition, and then we have this sense of this crescent moon at your feet. Knowledge of the moon, because the moon illuminates illusion. Moon illuminates illusion in the night, in your darkness, outside of your cave. sun and the moon. But we're looking at interior wisdom of your interior reality, Justin. Being in touch with your interior reality. Because through your interior reality, you can act in this way of justice. Love with boundaries. It's not love with conditions. That's the different thing. A selfish love or a love with conditions is not what we're talking about here, but a love with boundaries. Not letting people walk all over you. If you have a tendency to do that, you might be like me, a people pleaser. And you just want to please people at your own expense. This is asking you to not love like that. Have boundaries and not let people walk over you like you were a doormat. In the next 2 days, try and be in touch with your interior world. Okay? All right, that's all I got for you, Justin. Let's go move on to Leela. I don't know if Leah is still here. Leah. So you are kind of a doormat then. You are a people person. All right. Do you work? Do you work? Are you like a server or something? You work in service, maybe sales, or maybe you're like a bartender, or you work like as a waiter, something where you have to, but maybe sometimes where you feel probably if you are, you're probably really good at it. Probably really good at it. Now, of course, to be a bartender, you have to have a lot of a strong sense of self and self boundaries to. So you're a cleaner. I see. Hmm. If you are a people pleaser, you might consider you do floors. Yeah, that's a nice quiet job. It can be. All right, let's go move on to Leah here. Thank you, Justin. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. I hope that page 29 helped. You can go back to like 50, around 50 in this video on the playback and look at it again to get a better idea. You can. All right. Let us clear the air and go over to Leah. I don't know if Leah's still here, but I'm going to read as if Leah were here. All right. Thank you very much, Justin. Mother Mary, Leah has a question. She wants to know about her friend Erwin. What does Erwin feel about Leah? Show us the truth, Mother Mary. I think we'll use this tarot over here. I did I released a long play video, a very short one, about what I kind of do behind the scenes here in getting prepared for these readings. I'll probably do another one maybe next Saturday, where I will actually go through the entire process of how I arrive at that information. But it kind of started where I start with. Where I start with. I do it once a week, not every day. When I first started out, I did it every day, but I think once a week is good enough, and that's what I'm doing. Okay. So this is for Leah and for Erwin. I don't know that we can reach Erwin, but Mother Mary knows Erwin. So Leah, this is... Let's see if I can get an idea on Leah. I know she's not still here because it's taking too long, and so you just kind of move on. Hmm. Okay. Let us see here. For Leah, what does Erwin think about you? What does Erwin think about you, Leah? What does Erwin think about you? What does Erwin think about you? 5, 4, 3, 3, 2, 1. Cut the deck. We'll take this card and the one on the bottom. So Leah, interesting. Now these cards here popped out, Leah. I don't know if you're still here. You're probably not still here. But maybe you'll come back and know that I read your question regardless of whether you really wanted to know the truth or not. My sense here is that a lot of people will ask their question and then they'll take off because they get bored. And then they come back. And what can we say about Erwin? Well, Erwin is curious about you. He has a sense of curiosity, insatiable curiosity. He wants to know who you are. But at the same time, Erwin is irresponsible. He has a sense of entitlement, being entitled to love, being entitled to affection. That may manifest itself is that if you do hook up with him, or Leah, that if you do hook up with him, that it's going to be all about your body. And if something happens, like a pregnancy or something like that, he's not, at this point in time in his life, will not be able to rise to the occasion in order to be a caregiver or a parent to that child, or even a responsible partner towards you. But he does feel entitled to having gratification, to being having his body being gratified. And then there's a sense that of this temporary, it's this situation that you're going through is very temporary, with the wheel of fortune in this reverse form. Or it may be a bit of bad luck for you. Not a good, not a good turn of events, but more of a bad turn of events. So irresponsible, a bit of bad luck. But he's very curious about you. Now we have this other card. This was the outcome card, I believe. But then there's this a sense of this nurturing, irresponsible, entitled, but yet in some moments, Erwin is there being a nurturing person. And he's curious, he's nurturing, but at the same time, he's irresponsible and may be bad luck for you. And then finally, with this other card, is that there is some momentum forward. You're going forward into something. He's going forward to something. So it could be that his irresponsibility will be something that will pass in time. But right now, he's not very responsible. So be careful with giving him too much of yourself. Don't give him too much of yourself. You need to nurture the relationship a little bit more. I will be with you. So Leah, be careful with this guy. Be careful. That's what I'm just saying. Be careful. Don't get swept away into the moment. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by whatever attempts there are to take more from you than you are willing to give. Does that make any sense? I don't know if that makes any sense. But anyways, that's what I got for you, Leah. I don't know if you're still here or not. I'm going to move on to Shep. Is Shep still here? Is Shep still here? This one will be my last one for the day. Okay, Shep. Let's go move on to you, and then I'm going to have to go carry on with some of my duties. I got to finish mowing my neighbor's yard. All right, Shep. Let's see what's going on here. I'm going to use this deck here. Mother Mary. Shep has a question. She is going through a hard time in her relationship right now. She wants to know, will it end? Is this the way it's going to be forever? Will this end? Okay. All right. All right, Shep, I want you to tell me when I need to stop shuffling. We're going to do a 3-card. First one popped out. Tell me when to stop shuffling. We can stop anytime you want. I can stop shuffling anytime you want. Okay. Do you want these cards over or these cards under? Over or under? Over or under? Over or under? Okay, like that. So will this rough patch end? Will it end? Yes, it will end. So this rough patch will end because first you have to take a little bit of a break for yourself to recharge, to, in this sense, we're looking at out here is your sense of a holy person that is giving you grace, that is giving you energy. And you need to go into a sanctuary, into your own cave, into your own self, and rest. You rest your emotional self, rest your intellectual self, to not be caught in those endless thoughts that are disturbing your peace right now. Okay? So the first thing is you need to rest to get through this. Now the other thing is that we have this sense of family prosperity and your prosperity in your household. So there's has to be some concentrating on your own financial resources. So maybe the reason why you are in a rough patch is because of a feeling as though you don't have enough money to take care of everyone. And so this in a sense of body earth abundance is in a sense that maybe you and your man, your partner, have to reorganize how it is that you are thinking about your resources. Probably that is the cause of your of what you're fighting about is about money, about your prosperity, about maybe you're not being where you're supposed to be being. So you got to think about this, the prosperity, your the resources. But in a sense, you need to move into a different state, into a different place of being. And so this sense of yes, is this temporary or permanent? This hard patch, will it end? It's going to end eventually. Eventually, you're going to move away from that. I don't know when, but eventually you'll move away from it. When, in a sense, you'll move away from it when you've rested. You'll move away from it when you have a feeling of prosperity, of family prosperity, as if your financial, physical resources are taken care of. No, that's not what I said, Shep. I'm saying that whatever you're going through will, this rough patch will end. That's what I was reading on, not whether this relationship will end, but whether these difficulties that you're having in this relationship will end. That's not, I didn't read that question. I read the question, will, you are going through hard times, and will these hard times end? And these hard times will end. That's what I have for you. So the question, your answer is, I'm going to write it down here. These hard times will end. These hard times will end. These hard times will end. So what the heart of this is a foundational issue. So it is about you working on the foundations of your relationships and concentrating on the foundations of your relationships. In order to really get through this, you got to build the foundation of your relationship. So does that make sense? Does that make sense, Shep? I have to get going here. And I need to go finish a job. I have a job that okay, so it does make sense. So you need to work on the foundations. You have to like work together with your man about why this, and a lot of this stuff, it is about money. Then you have, it might be a matter as you need to rewire why it is, how you use your resources. You gotta use your resources differently and figure out how to use what you have in a way that it lends towards your family's wealth and prosperity. Okay? All right, so that's all I got for you. I gotta go. I want to thank Shep. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Leah. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. K. Thank you, Avery. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Ayushi. And thank you, Vanderbilt, for asking questions. And we'll see you the next time. Bye for now. Bye-bye. Yes, and you're very, very welcome.